So listen to this video here for a second and hear what I heard that really caught my attention.
That is why I'm confident in declaring that our alliance is eternal. It is forever. Anetzak.
He said that the alliance between the United States and Israel was eternal. It is forever. And so you have to ask yourself, can you have an eternal alliance between two finite people, not infinite people? Can we have an eternal alliance, and can we promise an eternal alliance? In other words, if I say to you, I'm committed to you for life, you'd say, oh, thank you, that's really a big commitment. But if I said to you, I'm committed to you eternally, that would take something, doesn't make sense. Because especially if you're speaking for a nation, when you're gone, the nation's still there maybe another 100 years, 200 years, 500 years, but the nation's not eternal. How can you have an eternal alliance? You see what I'm saying? So I thought, boy, he sure is confirming a covenant. So let's look at the verse here for a second. And he shall confirm the covenant with the many for 1 week, or in this case of our present interpretation, it would be 7 years. Okay, so he should confirm the covenant with the many for 1 week. Anyway, I thought this was pretty significant because when he said that he was confirming, or he was certain that the alliance was eternal, it was forever, that was a strong confirmation. I mean, it was that was really, really strong. And so it bothered me that it was that strong, actually. But it really bothered me. I mean, I've held this in my hands. I've held this in my heart for 3.5 years. And I thought, boy, that's a strong confirmation. That's a strong confirming of the covenant. He didn't say 7 years. He went way past it. So last week, when that really bothered me, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here. I want to show you something else. Before I get to that, where I'm going with it, just go back here for a second and look at this word confirm. Just look at this. So I'll triple click on it. This is a word I happened to study 3 or 4 years ago, this word gabar. It's to be strong. It actually means to strengthen or be stronger. To be stronger, to prevail. To put to more strength. To make mighty. To be great. You can say confirm, but you could also say to strengthen the covenant. To make stronger the covenant. It wouldn't be wrong, using this word, that you could strengthen the covenant. You see that? So it wasn't hard for me 3 years ago to say, and he shall strengthen the covenant. In other words, there was an alliance and he strengthened it. I bought into that. I thought, well, that could be, yeah, that could be. Not sure if this is something that's prophetic or if it's just a coincidence or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. But I thought, this sure looks like he strengthened the covenant. So that's where I was. I kind of left it at that. But last week or 2 weeks ago or whenever, I mean, at some point, this started bothering me a little bit. And the reason it bothered me, here, let's put this away. The reason it bothered me is because of this 1 week thing, this, what we would probably say, this word. Here, I'll just show you this word. So the word is shavua, okay? So this started to get under my skin a little bit a couple weeks ago because it means 7 it means 7. And then they use some examples here, specifically of years. But like 7 days makes up a week, so they translate it week. But the word actually means 7. Okay? So the word is 7, and that kind of bothered me because he will confirm the covenant for 7 years, is the way we believe it to be. Well, he sure didn't do that. He strengthened the covenant, that's for sure, but he strengthened it for eternity. He just blew right past that 7-year mark, and I thought, wow, I mean, that's strengthening it. Who strengthens a covenant for an eternity? So that really was weird, wasn't it? So it doesn't really fit the verse. And the verse seems to be weak compared to what he did. And he strengthened the covenant all right, but is God's word telling us that he'll strengthen it for 7 years when he strengthened it actually for an eternity? I don't know. That really started to bother me. So here's what I did. I read this again. This demonstrative, literally 7. I'm looking at it, and I'm seeing that this says as an example that it could be a period of time. As an example, these are the examples here. So I'm thinking, well, let's go a little deeper here, and let's look at this 7650. So I click on it. The root word. This root word. And you find that Shava, so back here we were looking at Shavua, which is made up of this word, is a 7. But this word has some interesting connotations to 7 oneself, as if to swear by repeating a declaration 7 times. By repeating a declaration 7 times. Wow. Well, that's different. By repeating a declaration 7 times. I wonder if he did that. I wonder if he was strengthening the covenant 7 times. Get where I'm going with that? So I went back to this and I thought, I need to re-listen to this and see if he was strengthening the covenant 7 times. So let's go back here to 2750. Let's listen to it together. The 2730 is where we'll start, where he's being introduced by Netanyahu. And let's see what he says. Well, this is what I wrote, and I wrote it down like this. And I showed this to my son, and he said, wow, Dad, I don't even know if I would have been able to divide it up like that. And I'm realizing that being an auditory learner, that's what I am, I listen, I'm an auditory learner, that this was really easy for me to divide out. And you might not find it that easy. I had no problem separating confirmations of a covenant or emphasizing a covenant. So I'll guide you through this a little bit, what I actually recorded. So let's look at it. Let's listen and follow along together here on what is actually being said. I'll move this to the side just a little bit, and we'll follow along with these words. And I'm going to point to the words every time. Maybe I'll stop it, I don't know, but I need to kind of like say, okay, this is what he's trying to say here, guys. So let's see what he says. Let's go.
Mr. President, the people of Israel are honored to have you visit our country. We warmly welcome you as our cherished guests. We deeply appreciate your friendship, and we share your hope that the Middle East will enjoy a future of freedom, prosperity, and peace. Mr. President, Baruch haba Israel. Welcome to Israel.
So let's listen to this speech, and it's just about 3 or 4 minutes. And let's see if he strengthens the covenant 7 times. See what you think.
Shalom. President Perez, Prime Minister Netanyahu, most of all to the people of Israel, thank you for this incredibly warm welcome. This is my 3rd visit to Israel. So let me just say, Tov lehiyot shuv b'haaretz. I'm so honored to be here as you prepare to celebrate the 65th anniversary of the free and independent state of Israel. Yet I know that in stepping foot on this land, I walk with you on the historic homeland of the Jewish people.
Okay, right there, I wanted to stop it and write that down because he says, I walk with you. And that was a strengthening of when you say I'm walking with you, that is a strengthening of your relationship. So let's watch how he says that again. Just hear it one more time. I wrote it down just as I wrote it down here.
With you, and I know that in stepping foot on this land, I walk with you on the historic homeland of the Jewish people.
So that was the first strengthening. You say, well, that's pretty weak, Mitch. Maybe. Let's go on to the next one.
More than 3,000 years ago, Jewish people lived here, tended the land here, prayed to God here. And after centuries of exile and persecution, unparalleled in the history of man, the founding of the Jewish state of Israel was a rebirth, a redemption, unlike any in history. Today, the sons of Abraham and the...
So this is one that he's emphasizing right here. Listen, the sons of Abraham and the daughters
of Sarah are fulfilling the dream of the ages, to be masters of their own fate.
First of all, I just want to comment that that is not a biblical statement at all. The dream of the ages is not to be masters of your own fate. It's to throw yourself at the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, and let him control your life. Some people even say, well, God is my co-pilot. No, 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 no. God should be your pilot. So to be a master of your own fate is an antichrist statement. Excuse me. It's not a good statement, but I'm digressing, and I'm off on a tributary. So listen to what he says.
Their own sovereign state, just as we have for these past 65 years. The United States is proud to stand with you as your strongest ally and your greatest friend. As I begin my 2nd term as president, Israel is the first stop on my first foreign trip. This is no accident. Across this region, the winds of change bring both promise and peril. So I see this visit as an opportunity to reaffirm the unbreakable bond between our nations, to restate America's unwavering commitment to Israel's security, and to speak directly to the people of Israel and to your neighbors. I want to begin right now by answering a question that is sometimes asked about our relationship. Why? Why does the United States stand so strongly, so firmly with the state of Israel?
That's 4. I stop it here because everything he says now is under that category of answering that question. So why does the United States stand so strongly? And he's not adding, he's just explaining why. Okay, so that's what this is about.
The answer is simple. We stand together because we share a common story. Patriots determined to be a free people in our land. Pioneers who forged a nation, heroes who sacrificed to preserve our freedom, and immigrants from every corner of the world who renew constantly our diverse societies. We stand together because we are democracies. For as noisy and messy as it may be, we know that democracy is the greatest form of government ever devised by man. We stand together because it makes us more prosperous. Our trade and investment create jobs for both our peoples. Our partnerships in science, medicine, and health bring us closer to new cures, harness new energy, and have helped transform us into high-tech hubs of our global economy. We stand together because we share a commitment to helping our fellow human beings around the world. When the earth shakes and the floods come, our doctors and rescuers reach out to help. When people are suffering, from Africa to Asia, we partner to fight disease and overcome hunger. We stand together because peace must come to the Holy Land.
Did you hear that? I caught that. That was really important. Peace must come to the Holy Land. That's why we stand together. Go back to Daniel chapter 8 and those verses we looked at just a minute ago. By peace, he will destroy many. So listen to that one more time.
We stand together because peace must come to the Holy Land. For even as we are clear-eyed about the difficulties, we will never lose sight of the vision of an Israel at peace with its neighbors. So as I begin this visit, let me say as clearly as I can, the United States of America stands with the state of Israel because it is in our fundamental national security interest to stand with Israel. It makes us both stronger, it makes us both more prosperous, and it makes the world a better place.
Now, after he said all that, he went on to a different statement, and he wasn't just saying because. Oh, hang on. What is that? That's my clock. I've never had that happen before. The time is, I don't know what happened there, but I'm keeping track of the time of the video. I thought, what's going on? What's going on? Okay, so anyway, I had to shut that thing off. So moving on, he starts saying that is why, and that's why I gave it a number 5. So let's go see what he says here.
That's why the United States was the very first nation to recognize the state of Israel 65 years ago. That's why the Star of David and the Stars and Stripes fly together today. And that is why I'm confident in declaring that our alliance is eternal. It is forever. Anetzah.
So I stopped writing because he was done talking. And I heard 7 strengthenings of the covenant. Did you? That just blew me away. That really blew me away. And I'll leave these down below in the comments for you. You can look at it more closely. Let me know your thoughts. If you think I'm nuts, and I won't be offended, I won't cut you off. I really trust that God gives you a perspective that's valuable too. So we can put the truth, or what we believe to be the truth, out on the table. In finishing up this video, I want to leave you with a few thoughts. And I want to go deeper also. Boy, I have a lot more to tell you. I want to go a lot deeper, actually. But I feel, well, let's see, what should I say? I think I'm going to make a part 2 to this. And if you made it to this much, you'll probably have no problem going to part 2. So I'm going to cut it off here and just say this. The time is sooner than any time in the history of mankind. Whether it's upon us or not, the question is, how are you living? And I want to encourage you to live holy lives. I also want to encourage you that the only life that's worth living is found in Jesus Christ through the Holy Spirit who is given to us. And Christ in you is the hope of glory. And if you don't know Christ, or if you only think you know Christ but you've never received the Holy Spirit, you can bow before the God who created you, the one who made you, and ask him to reveal himself to you through Christ. And he will. So I'm going to leave that with you right now, and I'm going to prepare to do part 2, and I'll come back either tonight or tomorrow or the next day with another episode from the final Exodus. Blessings to you, my friends. I'll talk to you soon.